Hello, and welcome to this video, which is going to be a brief introduction to the various kinds of art that I make. My name is Niklas Björkerot, and I am a kind of multimedia artist. Not in the sense that I ever combine different kinds of media in any one work of art, but that I work in a handful of distinct kinds of media in which I produce works. And if you give me a little bit of your time, I'd like to take you through a short slideshow and introduce those four major areas of creativity in which I am active. First and foremost, and for as long as I can remember, I am a painter. I make paintings such as this one, which in reality is larger even than this one here, which is not even nearly done, but on the way. And if you give me a few moments, I'd like to introduce you, as soon as I've moved myself a bit out of the way, to a couple other paintings. Let's see, I think, yes, this one. This is another one which I made, which is actually a depiction of the same sort of creature, which you see here, in much the same sort of setting. And finally, I'd like to show you this. And again, I have to get out of the way, which is a kind of painting that I'm quite fond of making. You can see perhaps it's quite similar to this one. Rather large, rather complex. Although I have less time for that nowadays, as I concern myself with other kinds of media as well. Another kind of media that I work in is writing. Another field that I work in is writing. And I'm keeping this picture here just a little bit because this is actually an illustration for a story that I've written. The one and only story I've written so far, which is a fantasy novella set in and beneath this city. And it concerns this lady here, Karen. This is a screenshot taken from my website, where you can read the story in full. And yeah, that is a picture of the protagonist. I'm still working on the illustrations for it. I want to illustrate it very densely. This is another one of the illustrations. It's probably going to take quite a while before they are all done because I've become so concerned with other creative endeavors as well. But it's ongoing, and I do plan to write more stories about her and a few other characters as well, as soon as I finish the paintings for that. Now, on to the next project that I'm concerned with or working on, which is fashion for men specifically. This is me modeling a shirt and a pair of trousers, I believe in September in Tokyo. The hat is not part of the collection, but the rest of the clothes are. It's quite a slow-moving project because I work with a kind of workshop that help make the clothes that I design. And of course I need to pay them, and I'm not a particularly rich man. So it takes time, but it's ongoing, and I'd say the first collection is about 60 to 70% done. Moving on from there, I present this picture, which is the last field of endeavor I want to introduce, which is, I think quite obviously, this is a computer game. I've always liked games, computer games, and the vast opportunities for world building and creation of experiences that they offer. But I've only started learning programming the last couple of years. This is one of two games, two finished full-fledged games that I've written as practice programs, but they are playable and to some at least enjoyable. So those are the four different kinds of art that I make. I consider them all to be art. And you can read more about them on my webpage, which looks, well, this is a landing page, which you'll arrive at if you go to this address at the bottom there. I'll provide a link in the description to this video as well. Here you can find links to, well, there are 4 links, although one of them is not any of those things I talked about. There's from left to right, there's coding and game development, which is one link. Then there's painting and writing, so 2 are combined in one. That used to be my main page before. Then there's one called Computer Convention, which is about a small, very small event that I plan to host here in Copenhagen later this year. And then there's fashion on the far right to you. You can go there and read a bit more. You have a bit more of an in-depth introduction to these 4 categories. And if you're interested in what I make, if you like my paintings or an interest in the collection or the games or the stories, then I hope you'll subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to start offering more vlogs similar to this introduction video, in which I talk about a specific category of these, and within that a specific project that I'm working on. So you'll be able to follow my various projects very closely following that. I do already offer such updates on my Patreon page, which you might consider supporting me at. I mean, once you've learned a bit more, and if you do find it interesting enough. So, as I said, you can follow me here on YouTube, where I post some videos, more starting now than I did before. Since last year, I stream here, and when I do, I can show you a bit how my streams look. If you just let me rearrange this a little bit. I stream here, and during my streams, I often talk a bit about my projects. I update you on what's happening, what's going on, and let's see here. Right. At the same time, I usually do some drawing like this. I have another camera right here to the right, and I might draw. I might do stuff here, or I might be painting at the same time. I might be playing a game, or sometimes I actually sit here coding and I talk about the code or something else. It's a way to connect with my followers, my supporters, and to show the things that I've been working on recently. I also often show little film segments like this, and it usually looks like this, a number of different things going on at the same time. So I'll have some picture like that. It can be of a landscape or some art that I recently made or long ago. You'll have me talking to you and responding to things in chat, working on some project, and showing some of these videos. I'm an avid bicyclist and walker and runner, and I don't film when I run, but I do quite often film when I walk or when I cycle. And collecting video clips, which are lengths varying from 20 minutes to a couple of hours sometimes. I do that to make the stream more interesting, basically. And sometimes I'll comment on what you see in the video as well, and if it's something I think is noteworthy. So, I hope you found this interesting, and that I'll see you again here or on Twitch. You can find the link to my Twitch channel on my webpage, or on my webpage somehow. With that, I wish you a good time of day, and goodbye.